Yo, it's your boy P Money, man. Welcoming you to another episode of The Whole Thing, a show where we discuss various media and entertainment topics such as music, movies, series, and a whole lot of other things like fashion, man. Let me tell you something, man. Today we're going to be unpacking for you one of the latest movies that came out, man. I say latest movies because it was lit, man. Let me tell you something, man. My boy Jose is gonna tell you all about it.
Yeah, Tonic Melody on this side. This month we're celebrating Black History Month, and we decided to review a very influential movie about one of the most influential leaders, I'd say, of our time, in spite of geography, because it speaks to the lives of Black people around the world.
That's right.
Right. So the name of the movie is Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah. So we're gonna get straight into it.
Yeah, man. So the first point we're gonna start talking about is the cast of the movie, man. And in the cast, man, they had some very nice actors in there and actors and actresses, man. Very powerful actors and actresses that really brought the movie to life, man. Like they really embodied the parts they played.
It's an all-star cast, basically.
Basically,
Yeah,
right?
It was a very expensive movie to make because of the big names they had. Yeah, starting off with the main character, of course, or rather the protagonist.
Yeah. David Kaluuya, who plays Fred Hampton, and then you have your Lakeith Stanfield, who plays William O'Neill, and then you had your what? Martin Sheen, who played J. Edgar Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover is like the main antagonist, like the one pushing the chess pieces in the background.
Roy Mitchell is played by who's playing Roy Mitchell?
Roy Mitchell was played by Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons, yes.
Jesse Plemons. Roy Mitchell happens to be one of the FBI agents that was part of the mission to
destroy the black unity. Yeah, and he's like I'd call him the knight.
Yeah, he was the knight.
He was the knight.
He was the knight in this chess game. He really played his part well because in his pursuit to destroy the Black Panthers, he really chose the right piece to play. He was able to move in an L shape, undetected, and strike. I feel like, hey man, Jesse Plemons, Roy Mitchell,
yeah.
His part was on point, man, and yeah, that's what's up.
Okay, yeah, let's get into the plot. I think the main plot of the movie was to try and infiltrate the Black Panthers, since the Black Panthers wanted to unite people of color against the system, against the police, which were used as a tool for the system to oppress people, and deprive them of their freedom, basically.
Right. Yeah. So the story, in the story, man, the police are also antagonists in the sense that they were fighting against the progression of the Black Panthers because they were used in all of this, and I agree with what Jose is saying. It was a group of people that were trying to fight a system, but because the people in the background didn't like it, they really pushed the police to.
And from the movie, I mean, we saw even on the documentary Eyes on the Prize, part 2, you can see that they really struggled to find someone who can break their organization. So they had to find someone from outside who didn't actually believe in the organization.
Yeah. And it was very surprising that there were other Black people who were fighting or who were opposed to what the Black Panthers were doing. In spite of the fact that they were violent in their approach, but you have to commend what they were doing. They were not just there talking about making a change. They were actually doing something to show that, look, man, we are sick and tired of being bullied by cops. We're sick and tired of being bullied by this system. So we are gonna do what we're supposed to do to make sure that people are safe in the neighborhoods, people are safe in schools, and make sure that the kids are brought up well. And it's funny that the FBI managed to infiltrate they managed to fabricate an entire story to say in what they were doing for the kids, they were indoctrinating the kids. I felt that for me, I felt like was a very it was very I didn't like I don't like what they how they put it.
It's actually liberation
In a sense,
yeah,
right?
you're educating, you're empowering, you're opening their eyes. Yeah, but yeah, I guess anything against the system, it's a problem. They target. And the funny thing is that they use the media. It shows you how powerful the media is.
The media is.
Yeah.
Like they say, the revolution will not be televised. So the people that are part of the revolution are always painted out as the bad guys, but the people that are that are part of the system are always painted as the good guys. And it seems now that whatever thing that is positive that the people on the rebel side, whatever they try to do is always seen as something violent or obscene because of the media. The media is very powerful in that time of
even now they still hold power, but the media is not accountable to anyone, so that's an issue. But so now we're moving to the
key scenes
in the movie. I'd say one of the key scenes was the opening movie when J. Edgar Hoover was talking about how these blacks are terrorists, they bad. He said a lot of negative things, and that Fred Hampton shouldn't be allowed to be famous and stuff because it's gonna have a bad influence.
And he uses the word Messiah actually in the beginning. He says blacks we should not allow this black Messiah to exist, because, and in saying that, he was framing the frame of the words was that he wanted this guy to be eliminated because he was a threat. And you can imagine this guy was just one person. There was an organization that had a lot of other people that had the same mindset to fight and protect the people, but this one person was viewed as a problem. This one individual. It's very interesting that one person can I like the song. It makes me think of the song. What's his name? Ooh, Big Sean. One man can change the world. Like it says a lot about what a person can do if one person can put his mind to something. I think Fred Hampton was an epitome of that. An epitome of one person can really shake
an impact. And he also used the words sowing. He's planting seeds of division. And it's like already there was a division because blacks was on this side, whites were on this side, and he was actually trying to unite. He
even tried to bring in the Puerto Ricans as he also tried to bring in all the other people of color and
people,
even gang members as well. Another key scene was also the part where he willfully went into a stronghold of one of the gangs, and he didn't have weapons in there with him, and he went in straight. And as he was walking in there, I remember what happened was that the one guy, the antagonist, what's his name, William O'Neill, you remember he had a scene in the beginning where he was trying to steal a car. And then when he was trying to steal a car, he had an altercation with the other guys there. After they had an altercation, you remember that. And then after they had that altercation, later he meets the people that he stole the car from. That was one of the key scenes. I like that. I liked how it just came out to show that there was one thing that you do at one stage will ultimately come up and haunt you at some stage in the future. That was a very key scene in the movie. And another one was
when he found I say his girlfriend's poetry book or diary. And then there was a poem titled "Am I a Good Mother?" And then he didn't understand why the girlfriend was saying, "Am I a good mother?" Then she explained that, okay, I'm bringing a child into this kind of a world, into this kind of chaos, and you're not concerned about that. You're willing to die for the people, but you don't say anything about your child. Yeah, it kind of made him look at things in a different perspective.
Right.
Because from that point, he could have decided, you know what, I quit as chairman.
Wow, man! This movie was loaded with a lot of things, man. It was loaded with a lot of life lessons and life day-to-day life struggles that people face. Like, as a leader, you face, like, you have to make a decision between your own family and the cause that you're trying to fight for.
Your vision, the vision you want to live through when you die. Even when he was offered money to get away with his wife, he said, no, this money is going to medical center,
or funding it or something, because they already had like this thing that we're doing for, like, free medical centers, feeding schemes in the free breakfast for kids and stuff. And then there was free medical aid. They had what else? There was something else they were doing for free. I can't remember. Or free education for kids as well. That was one of the things that they were doing. So he like, I feel like Fred Hampton felt like he was part of the people. He didn't feel like he was Fred Hampton the Messiah. He felt like Fred Hampton
for the people.
He stood for the people. Moving on to cinematography. How do you say it? In the comment section, write down or give us the proper syllables we should use when we're trying to pronounce this word. Cinematography, or just help us with how you pronounce this word. This word is difficult. Like, it's simple, but, like, I mean, you can see it's cinematography. So just in the comment section, please just hit us with a comment and show us some love there, man. Just tell us how to pronounce that word properly. Let's get into it, man.
To properly understand the cinematography of the movie, you need to look at the documentary, Eyes on the Prize, and then you compare between the two. Is it relating to what actually happened?
Right?
Yeah, and in terms of creativity, I feel like there's not much they could have done. They need to relate, I'd say 90% to the actual events as much as possible. And what I've seen with some stories based on true events, they try to dramatize it just so it can be entertaining. Because some people found it boring.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people.
There was a time, like, it's about 2 hours minimum. So there's a time where it feels like it's dragging. But when you understand that it's based on actual events, I mean, there's not much you can do about it.
Because we're expecting to see guns,
comedy.
But because I agree with that, there's very little room for creativity in a space when trying to depict true events. So I agree with what Jose is saying. For me, I felt like the cinematography of the entire movie really captured all the key concepts that were needed, and it didn't miss out on, like, it really went hand in hand with the documentary. And when you watch the documentary and you watch the movie, you realize that it's saying the same thing, but the movie just gives you details into what the documentary is talking about. Because in the documentary, they're just telling you what they saw and how they felt, but you watch the movie, you realize, you see details of what they were talking about, and it makes it a lot more not enjoyable, but it makes you see what the people saw at the time the events were happening. So, and personally, man, I have to say, I will say, man, I was very impressed with the overall acting.
It was, looking from the main character, when you look at the actual Fred Hampton, you look at the Fred Hampton on the scene. I mean, the voice projection, how he spoke, how he acted, he was conveying the actual Fred Hampton. Because what I saw is that they didn't actually look for people who look like the actual cast, but people who can actually master the roles.
Master the roles, yeah. And one other person that I feel really brought that character to life was Martin Sheen. I felt like that guy was J. Edgar Hoover, brother. Yo. That guy, man, like literally, like when you watch the movie, his first appearance, the first time he appears, you feel like they took a snippet of the actual snippet of J. Edgar Hoover's life. Like it's what was happening in the actual meeting or briefing of what needed to be done to the Black Panthers. Like the way he expresses himself, I swear the guy is racist, man, but I don't know. But all I'm saying is, man, like that guy really brought that character to life. Yo, J. Edgar Hoover, man, I really killed it. Man. Yes.
Too committed.
I was scared, man. I was scared for my life just watching it. I was like, yo, di man, I don't have a man. That guy killed it. He killed it. And another guy, and one of the to stick to the whole idea of overall acting. I think one of the other people that played their parts really well was this Jesse Plemons, right?
Jesse Plemons.
He really played the part.
Because his part, I'd say it was subtle.
Yeah.
But it had impact.
A
lot of impact. Yeah.
I agree. The movie, man, like honestly, the acting was on point. It was on point.
Yeah. So when you look at the movie, which was relaying events which happened in the 1960s versus now in the millennium. Yeah. Is this still relatable?
I feel like it's still relatable in the sense that the struggles that Black people have always had, or the struggles that were being fought against in the 60s are still the same struggles that they're fighting against now. Like there's still police brutality ongoing to this day, and you're surprised that it's still ongoing in a sense that, like, how is it still happening? Like,
and sadly, Black people are still fighting for basic needs. I mean, you get white people fighting for animal rights. That's privilege. That's privilege. You're no longer fighting for yourself. You're fighting for an animal. Animals shouldn't be killed. Environment, trees shouldn't be killed.
Come on.
Those are nice life problems.
Though.
We wish to go there one day. Get to that position.
Oh Lord, man. Yeah, you know what? It's very sad that Black people are seen to be less than animals, in the sense that, like what Jose is saying, white people can advocate and fight for animals and say it's wrong to kill animals, but they can't say it's wrong to kill Black people. Or it's easier to put down laws that protect animals. I mean, an animal is less than a human being, regardless how cute it is.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, dog. Like, you personally, you as an individual, were created to live on this earth, and you have your purpose is higher than that of the animal, and to have an animal have better rights than you is a problem. For me, that's how I view it. And to have people fighting for animals is even scarier.
Okay, when you look at the overall performance of the movie, in the first week it made more than 2 million. And when you look at the production cost, which was 26 million, I'd say they haven't made a return on their investment, but it's still early. But what I've seen is that the movie hasn't performed very well internationally compared to domestically in the US. Comes back to whether was it marketed properly. Like it raises a lot of questions, but so far I'd say it's still early.
It's still early.
Yeah, it's still early.
And I agree with what you're saying, that it's still early, but I also feel like the reason it popped in its own motherland where it was created is because of the time that it came out. Like, it was during Black History Month, and Black people are still interested in knowing what is going on or what happened back then. Like, they want to be taught about what happened in the back in the time when their parents were still young. I mean, 50 years. 50 years. 50 years since then until now.
Yeah, so most of those people are still alive. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see, what's this? It was number one in the box office for quite some time and became second to this animation movie, The Croods, The Croods 2. Yeah.
Didn't know. Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. Didn't even know, man.
Okay, ratings.
Personally, what do I rate it? Me?
Okay, so I'm IMDb rated.
IMDb ratings. Oh,
it was what 7.6. 7.6. Yeah. Personally,
yeah. Man, I give it a solid 6, man. A solid 6. I can't give it any more than that. A solid 6. Watching the movie itself, with the expectation of enjoying it, I personally didn't enjoy it. But in terms of learning, I learned a lot from watching the movie. I mean, I learned things that I didn't know about the Black Panthers. Personally, I thought the Black Panthers were a violent group before I watched the movie, but I learned a lot. Because I watched the movie, I ended up doing some extensive research of the movie to try and find out how the Black Panthers started, why they were started, who started it, and for me, I feel like that's why I give it a 6, but I can't give it any more. 6.
Okay. For me, it's a 7.
It's a 7.
Yeah. Because when I watched the movie, I understood why I'm watching it. I didn't have any expectations, so to say, yeah. But for me, it was more like doing research.
Yeah.
In terms of entertainment, there wasn't much, but it's not like I was expecting much. Yeah.
I think some of the things that kill us when we watch movies are our expectations. Like we go to a cinema or a film studio or whatnot, and then we're there expecting to be what's this, to be entertained, intrigued and stuff. But sometimes it's never the case. So sometimes just go into a movie expecting to just watch a movie and then see the outcome.
Yeah. So morals of the story.
Moral of the story. I'm gonna take the name of the story there. Black Jesus and Judas and the Black Jesus, and the Black Messiah. For me, I feel like what I learned from it is that not everyone is gonna see what you see, and not everyone understands why you're fighting. Some people are just in it because, well, it's cool to be in it. So for me, I feel like people just sometimes do things, you know, like, oh, that's cool, let's do it. Then they go with it, but they don't really understand the principles, the mission, the vision of the organization. Because if you do understand what it stands for, you are touched when certain things happen. So
yeah. For me, I'd say it's okay. I wasn't disappointed by how he died. It's like he was expecting to die at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Already he was already expecting the worst outcome. Yeah. Because he was willing to die for the cause, and it's like he had an idea he was willing to die for. Yeah. Because there's this quote that says, "The best ideas are the ideas you're willing to die to see live." Yeah. If you're not willing to die for an idea, then your idea is not good enough. Right. And I like what you also said when he said politics is war without bloodshed. Yeah. So he was willing to acknowledge that politics is war. So the reason a lot of elders, let me put it that way, a lot of elders were against what they were doing, what the Black Panthers were doing, saying these people are gonna come against us. You are too radical, right? But it's like he was attacking the system directly. Whereas you look at pacifists, right? Like people like your Dr. Martin Luther King, who were all about making peaceful protests. They can beat us, give them the other cheek. Yeah. So to him, it was more about until when.
Until when?
Yeah, because he was part of the NAACP, which used that pacifist approach.
Same approach.
Yeah, all about talking, and he got tired, and he was only 21.
21.
21.
Like, you don't have to be. That's one of the other lessons. Like I was thinking about it while you were just talking now, that you don't have to be an old, like very old or very rich to make an impact in life. You just need to be willing to give it your all. I mean, at 21, the amount of like to scare the FBI in that way at 21, my guy, you have to. There has to be something special about you, dog.
And they paid a lot of money, to bring him down. They
dog.
paid a lot of money. That actually says a lot.
They tried to get this guy arrested for nonsense. I mean, how do you get arrested for stealing ice cream worth $75?
They couldn't come up with something believable.
Something believable. I mean, honestly, dog. Like, man, look, I personally didn't enjoy watching it, but I learned a lot from watching it. So that's in conclusion for me.
Yeah,
that's the conclusion I'm giving from. But if I'm to recommend it to you, I'd say watch it. You're gonna learn a lot from watching it. It's gonna push you to want to know more about other things. So I encourage you to watch it. Judas and the Black Messiah. It's a very, very lit movie.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget to watch the next review we do of the album, based on, or rather inspired by the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping in touch.
And then let me tell you something, man. Before we leave, let me tell you something before we leave, man. Hit that like button. Comment in the comment section. And then make sure you subscribe, man, because we can't keep doing this if you don't subscribe, man. We need you guys to subscribe to our channel, man. Let me tell you something, man. We're still going to have more content for you, man. Let me tell you something, man. Tell your friend to tell their friend, to tell their friend, to tell their friend, to tell their other friend that they told their other friend to tell their friend to subscribe to our channel, man. Because we lady like that, man.
Yeah. And today is the last day of the Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we keep celebrating our blackness. It's not a scar. It's not a sin. It's not our skin color doesn't say crime. It doesn't say bad. You need to embrace it every day. I mean, the Black History Month is about just remembering, commemorating the struggles. There's a reason why we never needed superheroes, because we had them real life.
True.
Ours are not fictitious. We don't need capes. We have your Fred Hamptons. We have so many.
Yeah.
You yourself are a superhero just for tuning in.
Exactly, man. And remember, I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary.